right, looks like we're live. Welcome, welcome. This is Facebook Live number 13 on daily clinical sleep medicine tips for your outpatient practice if you're a physician, a therapist, or another type of healthcare practitioner that's working with patients, and if your patients ever have sleep issues. Today we're talking about the Rise Up protocol for sleep inertia and fatigue. So essentially some tips to help your patients wake up a little bit more easily in the morning, especially if they struggle with a feeling of inertia or heaviness upon awakening. I'm Dr. Nishi Bhopal. I'm a physician board certified in sleep medicine, psychiatry, and I practice through an integrative holistic medicine lens. I have a YouTube channel teaching physicians and therapists all about clinical sleep medicine, and I have an online course called the Clinical Sleep Kit, where we talk about various practical tips, tools, sleep medicine fundamentals to help your patients in your practice so that you don't have to feel like you need to rely on medications or CBTI as your only tools to support your patients, because there's so many different things that we can do, but most of us don't get trained in those modalities. So doors to that program are opening next week. I'll share more about that in a bit. If you're joining me live, thank you for joining. If you're watching the replay, please type replay in the comments and let me know where you're joining from, what your specialty is, and what your questions are or your biggest challenges about clinical sleep medicine. What kinds of issues are you seeing with sleep in your practice? I would love to hear from you. And if you have any questions that you want me to answer on these live videos, let me know. So this morning I had Michelle Jonelis on my YouTube channel. She actually came here to my home and we recorded a video together, and that was so much fun because so much of what we do is online these days, and it was just so nice to connect face to face. We had connected online before, but we had never actually met in person, so that was really, really great. And so Michelle Jonelis is a neurologist. She's a sleep medicine physician. She's also trained in lifestyle medicine, and she has a lifestyle medicine practice called Lifestyle Sleep here in the Bay Area. So if you're in the San Francisco Bay Area, she's a great resource for you if you have patients who need a sleep specialist. She's a behavioral sleep specialist, sleep medicine physician. She's taking patients in her private practice. We spoke about various lifestyle aspects to help your patients with insomnia and hypersomnia. And one of the things we talked about on today's video was the Rise Up protocol for sleep inertia. So we'll go into that in a moment. If you're wondering about the video that I recorded with her today, that's going to be released in a few weeks on my YouTube channel, so you can just stay tuned for that. Yes, I'm really excited for that because she shared so much great information. So I think it'll be really useful, whether you're a sleep physician or if you're a non-sleep physician working with patients. There's lots of good information that she shared. Michelle is also one of the sleep experts inside of my Clinical Sleep Kit program. I've got sleep physicians and other sleep experts from all over the globe inside that program. They get on a live Q&A once a month and answer your questions about sleep. And it's such a great way to get an expert consult from people that you might not have been able to connect with otherwise. And there's so many great minds in there. And Dr. Michelle Jonelis is one of them. So I'm really grateful for her being a part of that. So let's talk about the Rise Up protocol. This was developed by researchers including Kate Kaplan, who is a behavioral sleep psychologist who's also here in the Bay Area. So they did this study, a randomized controlled trial back in 2018 on the Rise Up protocol for patients with sleep inertia. They specifically looked at people with insomnia and bipolar disorder. And they found that using this protocol with patients was very effective at helping them overcome sleep inertia. So if you're wondering what sleep inertia is, it's the grogginess that people feel when they're awakening. And there's kind of like this transition between sleep and wakefulness. And during that transition, they're not fully awake. This can last from minutes to hours for some patients, and it's associated with significant decreases in cognitive performance. And then those issues with cognitive performance improve over time. But you might find that your patients tell you that it's really hard to wake up. They feel heavy, groggy. It takes them hours to feel fully awake. They might feel like they can't focus. It's hard for them to function, and it can really significantly impact a person's day-to-day functioning. So this is a simple tool, the Rise Up protocol, that you can share with your patients to help them overcome these issues with sleep inertia. So it's spelled R-I-S-E, like the word rise, and then up, U-P. So let's go through these one by one. The R stands for refrain from hitting the snooze button. So you might find that patients are hitting snooze over and over, especially the ones who have sleep inertia. They might be setting their alarm for, let's say, 7 a.m., for example, or they need to get up by 7 a.m., so they set their alarm for 5:30 a.m., and they're hitting snooze over and over for an hour and a half, disrupting their sleep that they could have been getting for that hour and a half. So you don't want patients to be hitting snooze repeatedly. If they need to hit it 1 or 2 times to kind of get up, that's okay, but it shouldn't be going on for an extended period of time. So that's the R, is refrain from hitting the snooze button. I stands for increase your activity in the first hour. So what this means is getting exercise right after waking up. And it can be something small. They don't need to be going to the gym and doing a full, CrossFit protocol or something. Just something small like a quick walk, just even some light stretching, some kind of activity to get the blood flowing and help them wake up is very helpful. The S stands for take a shower or splash water on the face. This helps also to increase alertness. Even some cold water on the face can really make a big difference. It helps with vasoconstriction and increasing blood flow to the brain and helping with alertness and overcoming lethargy. The E stands for exposure to sunlight. So many of us advise our patients to do this already, to go outside, get exposed to bright sunlight, ideally without sunglasses or without a hat that's going to obstruct their exposure to light. They want to get really bright light as much as possible. So I advise my patients to go outside and do that. If it's not possible to go outside, they can open up all the window shades. So if they have blinds or curtains, open everything up, let the natural light come in, and then turn on the lights in the home as well, especially if it's dark. And if it's dark in the morning, excuse me, if it's like winter time and the sun hasn't come up yet, and they need to get up, they can use a light therapy device, whether a light box, sunrise alarm, or some kind of a light therapy wearable, but exposure to bright light. The U stands for listening to upbeat music. So they can put on some music that they enjoy, or even a podcast or something, or an audiobook that they enjoy listening to, just to help them get up and get going. Dr. Jonelis, when we recorded our video, she shared the tip that, some patients, they don't want to get up because they don't look forward to what the day has in store for them. Sometimes there's no real motivation to get up and get going. They'd rather stay in bed and not face, this maybe a horrible day that they have ahead of them, or challenges that they've got ahead of them that they aren't looking forward to. So using the upbeat music or listening to a podcast or something enjoyable gives the person something to look forward to. Oh, I can't wait to listen to that episode, or I can't wait to listen to my music in the morning. So this is a great incentive and a way to help them feel more awake and energized. Then lastly, the P in the Rise Up stands for phone a friend. The idea here is to increase social connection. And what's really interesting is that social connection has been shown to be more effective for overcoming some of these issues with fatigue and sleepiness than light therapy, than exercise, and these other lifestyle interventions that we've been talking about. So if you're just going to do one thing, this is the one to do. So it involves phoning a friend. So the person could go for a walk and maybe call somebody on the phone that they enjoy talking with. It doesn't have to be on the phone. They can meet up with someone in person, which is even better. So maybe going for a walk with a friend, or going for a walk with a walking club. Maybe they want to play a sport like pickleball, and they can go to a pickleball club in the morning. The idea here is that it should be something consistent. So they should be able to do this every morning, or at least 5 days a week, ideally daily, to help them get up, get going, gives them that social connection, which is so important for mental health. It really helps with fatigue. It gives them some accountability, gets people up and going. And we want to maintain that, and it should be something enjoyable, not something that people feel like they're forced to do or that they don't look forward to because they're not going to continue doing it. So that was the Rise Up protocol for fatigue, sleepiness, and sleep inertia. Hopefully that was helpful. Super simple. This is something that you could start using right away. If you're already using this, let me know in the comments. If you're not familiar, let me know as well, and what you took away from this video today. Next steps, you can follow my page to get notified about when I'm going live next. Next week, February 13th, 14th, and 21st, I'm going to be doing a series of live masterclasses on 5 sleep supplements to know about in your clinical practice. Many of our patients are taking supplements for sleep, but a lot of our patients don't really have any guidance on how to use them, what the evidence base is, if there's drug interactions, what the side effects are. And a lot of us as healthcare practitioners, physicians, we really don't get trained in using supplements effectively or even knowing what brands are effective. And it can be really confusing. So we're going to be talking about what supplements are evidence-based for sleep, how to use them, how to think about them, products and brands to consider, pitfalls to consider. So you can sign up for that. I'll put the link in the comments below if you want to check that out and see what that's all about and what times work for you. And then I'll also be sharing more about the Clinical Sleep Kit program, which is opening up next week as well. It's such a fun program. We've got a great community. Like I said, we've got amazing faculty from all over the world who are sleep specialists, and they all have their own niche. We've got Dr. Michelle Jonelis, like I mentioned. She's a lifestyle sleep medicine doctor. We've got Dr. Valerie Cacho. She specializes in women's health and perimenopause as it pertains to sleep. We've got Dr. Funke Afolabi Brown, who's a pediatric sleep specialist. We've got there's so many more. So I can share more information about that next week if you want to join me for the Supplements Masterclass, and I can tell you more about the program and what's involved in that. So that's it for today. I'll put the links below, and then stay tuned for the next live video. If you have any questions you want me to answer, please let me know, and I'll say bye for now.